Hi everybody and welcome back. Yes, the plan was to paint orcs tonight, but the data slate finally dropped. And well, I've been stuck at work all day, so I haven't gotten to look at it yet. And yes, I know like everyone and literally everyone is live streaming or putting out content about the data slate. My usual go-to is Allspike's Tactics to actually get a good rundown of things, but I figured for once since I've been streaming and it came out on a day I was going to stream anyway, let's just go through it on stream because this will be fun. So, as we get started, make sure you do the YouTube things, like and subscribe, do all the things, share the stream, share the content with whoever you like. I am shocked at what shorts get attention because it's always the goofy ones I make on a whim. So I'm going to try to keep making those because they genuinely are fun. And yes, we will be painting orcs probably Thursday. I did get some primer, so the little one-wheel guy is going to get base coated. He's got one coat of primer on him now. He's going to want a second coat of primer because he's 3D printed. So we'll be painting him Thursday. But in the meantime, I'm looking forward to looking at this stuff. Now, yes, I know we could go through and there's like the Meta Watch video. I am not going to do that because I don't want to try to be dodging a copyright strike. But what I figured I would do is just kind of click through all this. And of course I'm going to focus on my armies. I'm just going to scroll through this. Wow, those tanks look actually really good. I like the green on the Eldar. Okay, here's what I was looking for. The win rates. Necrons and Eldari we know are up front. Votan, Space Marines. Space Wolves is interesting. I guess people are just running a lot of Thunderwolf Cab, which are terrifying. Chaos Knights, woo, pretty high up there with Orcs. Sororitas, Thousand Suns, Death Guard, Tau, Astartes in general is below 50%. That's not too surprising. Dangles is even lower than that. GSC, my Custodes is down here and just past the lower half line. This is going to be interesting to see what Custodes get because I haven't been having too much trouble with them. I haven't, they're my primary army. I play more Custodes than I play anything else. And I haven't really noticed them struggling all that much recently. And maybe that's just my luck. Maybe that's just the way my games are going. But it'll be interesting what we get for Custodes. Grey Knights, Death Watch, Admech. I'm surprised Admech is really this high. I know Chaos Demons I've heard very little about. I know Imperial Knights have been struggling. Tyranids, again, I wish Tyranids were doing better. Guard, all of these guys at the bottom, always want them to be doing better because then we get to see more varied things. We do have the rules commentary, which is probably worth going through because I think I saw somewhere that they added some pages to it, so that's probably a good thing to look through. But I want to start here with the Balance Dataslate. Just make sure this is framed up okay. Yep. There's going to be a bunch of FAQs on this. I'm probably not going to interpret things super well, but I just thought it'd be fun. So just off the bat, we're hitting dev wounds with a change. With each time an attack is made with this weapon, that attack scores no saving throw of any kind can be made against that attack, including invulnerable saves. Such attacks are only allocated to wounds after all other. Okay, so we knew this. Okay, so yeah, this is just doubling down on you cannot make saving throws against any critical wound. So it's not just 6s. It's if you have something that changes your criticals to 5s and 6s. There's that. We also modifying set CP. I am a little. No, this is January 2024. So where existing passages of rules and text were presented, new or revised sections will be marked in red. Entries marked with a plus have been newly added. Okay. So, modifying things to 0 CP. Rules that modify the CP cost of a stratagem when you target a particular unit can only do so for a stratagem that targets multiple units if every unit has the same ability. Okay. That makes sense to me. That's kind of how I've been playing it anyway. Rules that modify the CP cost of stratagem but do not specify the name of the stratagem can only do so to affect the CP cost of a battle tactic stratagems. I was really hoping that was going to go away. I was really hoping we would lose the link to battle tactic just because it doesn't feel super narrative. Because most of these abilities are coming on those Space Marine captains, those shield captains, those characters who are like the grand strategists, the leaders of their factions. Even just like more than like battle tactics or strategic ploys, like things that are a little bit more active stratagems. I would have really liked to see those. Just have that expanded upon a little bit. Stratagems that can be used more than once per phase. Rules allow you to use the stratagem even if another unit has been targeted by that stratagem. Okay, so again, wait, but if they do not specify the name of that stratagem, they can only be used once per phase. I think this rule has been in there before, so I'm not gonna spend too much time parsing that out. For Overwatch, you have to be able to. The enemy unit has to be visible, so no more indirect Overwatch. And then I really hate that you can't use Titanic models. I was hoping we'd see some change to that, like have it cost 2 CP or something like that. I would have really loved to see that change. Again, a lot of these are changes that came in the previous balance slate. Yeah, it looks like the Insane Bravery stratagem is the same. You have to spend it before you test for Battle Shock and all of that jazz. That's fine. Ruins Invisibility. Aircraft models are exceptions, and towering models that are within the terrain feature can also see alt of it normally. So that's good. So that means just towering models, if you're standing in a ruin, you're not gonna have some because you can't always put your bases in a spot where you'll see out windows and stuff. So that's a nice tweak, especially as I get prepared to play Knights for hopefully the next couple months, because I am very close to having built. I have my first. It's actually sitting right here because I was working on the cleanup. I have my first Brigand model printed. I am starting to work on printing my second Brigand model, and then I just need one more Carnivore. And then I have 2,000 points of Knights printed and built, just not painted yet, of course, but should be able to start playing Knights pretty soon, which will be fun. Okay, faction rules. Adeptus Sororitas, which I know we don't really care about, but they can get 2 acts of faith per phase. Okay, that's a nice buff. That's fine. Okay. Custodes. Let me make sure you can see this and it's not covered up by my head. This is what we care about. I'm going to put myself on the other side. Okay. Custodes. Adeptus Custodes. Models in your army have a Feel No Pain 4-up. This is the Aegis of the Emperor detachment. Ability against mortal wounds and critical wounds caused by attacks with the devastating wounds ability. This is what we wanted. Again, this is not going to break us. This isn't going to make us the most powerful army in the world, but it does. This does get us back to that Aegis of the Emperor kind of as intended interpretation. where no matter what, custodians will get a save, and this is how they should be. Custodians should be tanky. They should be fighty. So this is great. And then this is unwavering sometimes epic D. That's an old change. Yeah, and then capping custodian guards and wardens to squads of 5 and 6, and praetors to 2 and 3 instead of 6. That's a change I really agree with from the previous round, because like, what could you do? Run blobs of 10 custodian guard, I think, or was it 8? You were never gonna kill that, and they were definitely gonna kill everything they touched. Okay, Eldari. This is probably one of the more important ones, because you know they've been the boogeymen of 10th edition so much. It looks like we have Strands of Fate. This is the Fate dice rule. It's down to 6, so you get 66. Was it 9 or 12? I can't remember how many they had before, but that's a lot less. So you're looking at basically getting one Fate dice use a turn. Though I'm sure there's like a character that gives you extra ones or something, or lets you use it twice or something like that, or, you know, lets you regain a Fate dice if you do a thing. But still, that's quite a bit fewer. We've got some changes to the enhancements, Phantasm strategy. I don't play Eldar. I'm not going to dive into that too much, but there's a lot. There's a change to the Incalling. There's something to Wraithguard, the Night Spinner. Oh, here we go. Here's a guy. Eldrad Oathwind, Diviner of Futures ability. At the start of the battle, when you roll your Strands of Fate dice, you can add an additional 3d6. Okay, so you take him every time now, because now, like, that is a 50% increase on your Strands of dice, or Strands of Fate dice. Yeah. So okay, so they made him just absolutely auto take, but that's fine. Yep, and then, okay, Agents of the Imperium, we're keeping the Exaction Squad update, so you can't take the squads of 5 that were so cheap. Bummer. I have Sisters of Silence, I don't really care. Yeah, and then that updates that thing. Okay, I don't know how much of this is all that new for, like, Guard. So let's just go through and hit the armies I play, and then if people have specific questions and specific factions they want to hit, we can go through and talk about them. But I want to see what they did to Space Marines. I guess starting with Blood Angels, because Blood Angels are right here. Each time an Adeptus Astartes unit in your army is selected to charge... Sorry, let me just say. The Red Thirst Detachment rule. I should be really reading out these titles, but I'm just diving right into the meat and potatoes of it all. But the Red Thirst Detachment rule. Each time an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is selected to fight, if it is a unit that made a charge until the end of the phase, add 2 to the strength and 1 to the attacks of the melee weapon equipped to this. Wow, that's good. So what, chain swords are strength 6 on the charge now? Power fists are strength, what, 8? Strength 10? What's the power fist stat line? Ugh. Make me pull up things. Give me Lieutenant. You have lots of weapons options. Oh my gosh. And the apple. Let me look at things. Battle Scribe, will you play nice? Not that I think Battle Scribe is updated yet, but I can look at weapons to see what this actually means. Because I want to know. Let's take... Okay. Let's just look at a power sword. Because I know that that's going to come up quickly. So, a relic weapon, so a power sword, goes to strength 7. So you're wounding almost all infantry on 3s. You're wounding custodes, terminators on 4s. That's really good. Force weapons go up to strength 8 if you're running librarians. What I'm looking for is... I don't think I have a single chainsword in this army list I'm looking at right now. But like just like Astartes knives, close combat knives go up to strength 6. That's incredibly good. And an extra attack. Okay, so Blood Angels got a lot killier. Because I know there's ways for them to get lance. I know there's ways for them to get +1 to wound. I mean, chaplains are easy. So you can wound a lot on 3s and definitely get up to fighting some things on 2s. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, I just want to look at Chaos Demons to see if there's a Nurgling change. But, Demonic Pact rule in addition for each of the following keywords. The number of non-battle line units with that keyword cannot be greater than a number of battle line units with. Okay, that doesn't affect me at all. I'm just looking because I run grot tanks, which aren't right here because I was painting them. So now they're over there. I run grot tanks as Nurgling proxies with my Orc Knights, just because I think I built my list and had like 80 points left over, so I was like, okay, I'll get an enhancement and then a cheap unit to have running around. Death Guard, Death Watch. Why is there that huge... Oh. See, this is just silly. Is like, okay, Death Watch, you should use bolters because like it's their lore is that they use, you know, specialty ammunition in their bolters, so they have to. This looks like they have to list all of the bolt weapons that appear on Death Watch cards. That's funny. Stuff for the Drakari. Ooh, just a little stuff for the Drakari. Little clarification, it looks like a movement change for the GSC. Grey Knights. Psy Cannon gets ignore cover and -2 AP. The Nemesis Demon Great Hammer. So yeah, this is some buffs for the Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight, which... I know people laugh at it being a baby carrier. I do wish the model was a little less dorky around, like, the dude's legs. I wish he was a little more encapsulated, but I do really like that model in general, and it's just such a cool chunk of lore. So he's got, you know, 3-up weapon skill on his heavier melee weapon now, which should fight pretty hard now. And it gets ignore cover on one of its ranged weapons. That's awesome. Oh, and 2-up weapon skill on the other... Yeah, on the other melee weapon. That's actually hopefully making Grey Knights a little bit better about big things. Let's look at Imperial Knights, just in case I ever want to just swap my my Knights rules out for a try. Because, I'm not going to pretend like I haven't thought about it. We have Code of Chivalric, the armory rule. You can reroll 1 hit and you can reroll 1 wound. Okay, so it's more rerolls. That's pretty good. The Bondsman abilities, if this changed back, the armature model you select is affected by that bondsman ability. Oh, so it's still that the big knight doesn't get the boost anymore. That's a shame. I was really hoping they changed that back. And some things. Okay, Votan, I don't care. Space Marines. Okay, yep, you can only take squads of 5 Desolation Marines. And that's it? No changes to Space Marines. Okay. Space Wolves got some things. This looks like changes to their actual detachment. I don't know if I care about that. World Eaters. I don't think I care about World Eaters. Huh. I would have assumed Space Marines would have gotten some tweak. And well, Dark Angels. No Dark Angels. Well, okay. The Dark Angels Codex just got released. So, okay, that's not too surprising. The points should probably have some changes for everything. That's where a lot of things are coming from. I should probably pull up the old points, because I have the Munitorum Field Manual for this round. But I should probably pull up the old ones just so I can remember. I need to go to Warhammer. 40K, no. I'm not about to scroll back 3 months. Let's go. Oh no, it's the field manual. Field manual, right? Yeah, Munitorum Field Manual. Here we go. Oh, maybe not. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to go to downloads. Of course I have to go to downloads. I'm looking in the wrong section. Okay. Updated. I'm not gonna be able to get the old one. Dang. Legends Field Manual. Legends Units. Why is bamboo? Oh. Printer ran out of filament. Legends of the Horus Heresy Field Manual, Combat Patrols, Combat Patrol Indexes, Crusade. Oh, I should look into 10th Edition Crusade, because I really liked 9th Edition Crusade. Okay. So, I'm not going to be able to direct compare, but there hopefully will be colored text. Okay, there will be. Okay, chat, give me 2 seconds. Let me appease my printer and feed it some more filament. New little fragment. Can we just... Yep, and I'm gonna need the temperature to go back up. Please. Because we need to go... That heats up. Man, it's so cool having a nice 3D printer. So on my Ender 3, that print would have been failed right now. But, you know, filament runout sensor and good software on loading new filament. That's so cool. Okay, back to the things y'all actually care about. Unitorum Field Manual version 1.6. Welcome to the Unitorum Field Manual. This document contains the most up-to-date points values that should be used in your games, covering all factions from Warhammer 40,000. Sororitas Custodes, table of contents. Okay. I'm going to be honest. The only one of these I know I'm going to be able to talk about with any consistency, detail, coherency is going to be the Custodes. So we'll start there. And then we'll look at the Astartes. We'll look at the Space Marines, and then we'll go look at the Chaos Knights, because that's going to mess up my list building that I'm working on right now a little bit. But other than that, let's just see. Sisters, a couple things got more expensive, a couple things got cheaper. Cool. Custodes. Okay. Predictions. While we're here, let's just put the title there. I think. What do I think? We did get a buff. We got a pretty good defensive buff, but it's not a buff we were ever meant. Like, it's back to the initial intent of the way our rules written at the top of 10th edition. So it's almost more adequate to think about, like, points values change before, like, the initial devastating wounds change that took away dev wounds being mortal wounds. So I think bikes will get a buff. I think bikes will get cheaper. Bikes better get cheaper. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, prosecutors get a little bit more expensive, but I also don't think that's very likely. I think Aloris stay the same. I think a lot of things stay the same. I would love to not have to take Sagittarum in 5-man squads, but if I have to, I'd like for them to be cheaper, just because they're not nearly as good as Custodian Guard. I think a normal shield captain could get cheaper. I think the Blade Champion could get a little bit more expensive. I think that'd be fine. I would like the Dreadnoughts to get cheaper. I think the Caladius Grav Tank could get more expensive. That's kind of my predictions. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Oh, and the first thing I see is Aloris Custodians getting cheaper. Wow. Okay. Let's go through this one at a time. Alea stayed the same. Don't care. I've heard people like her if you have the 80 points, and because she's a pretty good, like, tiny squad and can kind of, be a decent countercharge. But Alea, fine. Alaris Custodians. 138 points per model, so that's 65 points a model, right? 65-ish. Yeah. No, it's not. It's like 67, 68 points a model. That's not terrible. So you get a squad of 2 for 130, a squad of 3 for 195, a squad of 5, and you can still run squads of 5 and 6. I don't. I usually run 2 squads of 2, and that's been treating me really well. As, behind enemy lines, engage on all fronts things, capture enemy outpost, mostly secondary things, but, like, if there's a tank in a backfield that needs to get shut down, Space Marine Whirlwind, Tyrannid Gunbug, Repulsor Executioner, these sorts of things. 2, 3 Aloris will take care of it. The Rhino stayed the same. The Blade Champion stayed the same. That's awesome. Custodian Guard got cheaper, and so did Wardens. Oh, that's spicy. Custodian Guard are 160 180 points for 4 and 225 points for 5. So they're 45 points a model. And Aloris came down to 50 points, or Warden's came down to 50 points a model. So my entire list just got cheaper. I'm going to have like an extra 100 points in my army list that I don't know what I'm going to do with, to be frank. Maybe I either do 3 squads of 2 Aloris, maybe I run 1 squad of Persecutors. Hold on. We'll speculate on the state of my list in a minute. But, Knights and Churros stayed the same, that's fine. Persecutors stayed the same, that's excellent. Shield Captain stayed the same, as did the Terminator Captain. That's fine. The Captain on Donnie to Gold Jet Bike came down to 140 points. I have no clue what he was before. Hold on, let me see if I can go to Battle Scribe. Because I doubt that Battle Scribe has updated. Standby. Problems loading data files. Okay, so it looks like Battle Scribe is currently updating their stuff, so I can't check things on that. Okay, that could be interesting. It looks like our last change we have is actually to the bikes, which is interesting. Again, I wanted the Dreadnoughts to come down in points, but Trajan stayed the same. That's fine. Valerian stayed the same. And I know some people run him instead of a normal shield captain. I might have to try that. Because I think he gives... I don't know what he does. What does Valerian do? Help. Hold on. Let me pull up his data slate. Because I'm about to start speculating on where my Custodes list is about to go. Because the truth of the matter is, I forget to use the free stratagem a lot with my normal shield captain. And it's cheaper to run a Blade Champ. It's cheaper to run Valerian. What does he do? Okay, yeah. Fiona Payne, 6 up. He's a 6 wounds custodian with AP -3, strength 6, or strength 8 spear with 7 attacks. So he's a little bit punchier in melee. Golden Laurels. While this model is leading a unit, each time a melee attack targets that unit, worsen the AP. Okay, so he gets old. So he gives his squad old Armor of Contempt. Or I guess he just gives his squad Armor of Contempt, which is pretty good. And then once per battle round, you can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, or 1 saving throw. Made for this model. In addition, once per battle round, after making a hit, wound, or saving roll for this model, you can change. Once per battle, you can make a hit, wound, or saving throw for this model. Unmodified 6. I kind of like that. He'd make a normal custodian guard squad, which I've been running. What have I been running? I think I usually put my shield captain in with, I want to say 4 just normal custodian guard. So making them a little extra tanky would be good. That little extra damage buff on himself is pretty good. Okay, so I might run Valerian, because he's still cheap. 115 points. That's, what, 25 points cheaper than a shield captain? Look, there's a reason. I don't like building Aloris Custodians. So when I got a second box, I built one so I could run 2 squads of 2, and I have 2 more on that are still in the sprue. It's looking like I might have to build those 2 now. But the Verdius Praetors are up to now 75 points a model. Yes, 75 points a model. Which is not bad. So they're really in a place to compete with Alaris when it comes to, you know, almost 20-point difference for 2 models is a big difference. I want to know what their defense looks like right now. Where is Verdi's Praetors? Backs. Their toughness 6 instead of 7 with 4 wounds. Okay, so they're not quite as tough as Alaris. But they're faster. And they do some mortals on the charge. Or no. Once per battle after this unit ends an advanced move, you select one enemy unit excluding. Oh, so you can do a bombing run once per. That's kind of take it or leave it, but they still auto advance 6. Oh, here's the old points value. Oh no, that's the new points value. Oh, Wapedia beat me to it. I don't know. I think that's a compelling debate. So their attack profile looks like a spear that has lance. So they get +1 to wound instead of reroll wounds. I don't know what the math comes out on those. I think that's gonna be worth consideration. You know, the difference between I think the second you're looking at running more than minimum squad units, it very obviously becomes run Terminators. But just as like your nuisance get to a point on the battlefield roll, these guys move 12 and will advance 6, so they'll move 18 inches. Versus teleport into the onto the battlefield twice in the game. And the captain's cheaper too. And what does the captain give them? I might be throwing a squad of 2 bikes and maybe a captain into a thing. Sweeping advance. The unit can consolidate 6 instead of 3. At the end of the fight phase, this model's unit that is within engage range of 1 or more enemy units, it can fall back as if it were your movement phase. Oh, that's good. So you can fall back at the end of the fight phase, as long as it's not within engage range. Oh, that's a pretty good rule. And then they get the free stratagem. No advance in charge. But that's kind of okay. This is the same offensive profile, 7 wounds. You know? The issue I think we're going to run into is there's definitely not enough points cuts here for me to just add a squad of bikes to my list, which is really what I want to do because I'm really loving the way my list is playing right now, but now I have extra points. Interesting. Part of me wonders if the reason... As we go, I'll look for it, but I'm wondering if it's just the Forge World stuff that's not getting changes. Because, like, no one's taking Pyrite or Andesite Spear Custodians that I'm aware of. I don't know of anyone running the Palace Gravs right now. I don't know of anyone running Sagittarum with any seriousness right now. Telemons are way too expensive. The Caladius is probably a little too cheap. The Contemptor Achilles and Gladius Dreadnoughts are a little too expensive. I don't even think we have the old Venerable Contemptor anymore. We don't, which is a shame. You know, obviously you're not running, you know, an Orion or a Ares competitively. These things are never good for competitive. They just take up so many points. Man, Venatari are expensive. 200 points for 3, when Alaris are 195 points for 3. I think Venatari can get way cheaper and still not be broken. I think you could pay 180 points for 3. Because they're lighter armed and armored than the normal Custodian Guard. Okay, defensively they're Custodian Guard, but they only come in blocks of 3. Yeah, and in melee, if you take the Buckler, it's 1 damage and strength 5, and then if you take the Lance, which you take the Lance, it's basically just a Guardian Spear. And so you pay the premium for the fallback and charge, and the swooping dive where you can use rapid ingress for free, which is really good. Like, don't get me wrong, rapid ingress for free on a unit is really freaking good. But I think these profiles are hello. I think these offensive profiles are almost identical or extremely close to the options for just normal Custodian Guard. But 200 points for 3 is a little steep. I think 180, 60 points a model isn't bad. I don't think they should be. They should maybe be as expensive as Custodians as Alaris at most. So that'd be 195. But at that point, I don't know why you wouldn't take the Alaris instead. So I think if you're gonna make them compete with something, it's gonna be the Alaris Terminators, and I think they've gotta be cheaper because it's just too hard to kill 3 Alaris Terminators. Especially for these guys to be more expensive, but yeah, I'd say okay. The mainstays of the army: Alaris, Wardens, Custodian Guard, got cheaper. The bikes, the Dawn Eagle jet bikes, the Virtus Praetors, the Captain on Dawn Eagle needed to get cheaper for it to be usable at all. I think this is good enough. I don't think we're going to go back to, like, is it late 8th edition, early 9th edition, where people were just, you know, filling the table with Dawn Eagle jet bikes. I don't think we're going to go back to that. But, yeah, I would have liked to see some of the Forge World stuff change up. My Land Raider didn't change, did it? Where's my Land Raider? Because I am running a Land Raider in this right now. Oh, wait, no, there's my Contemptor Dreadnought. 185 points? Yeah, come on. When the Achilles and the Gladys are more or less expensive than that. Land Raider's still 240. Yeah, it's fun. I like running the party bus. In my Custodes, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to run the bus with Trajan and some boys in, but yeah. All right, well that's my Custodes. I'll have to maybe I'll try to make a short on my updated go-to army list once I figure out what the heck to do with these point changes. The answer is probably more Terminators. The answer is probably 1 squad of prosecutors, not 2, and 2 more Terminators on the table. Though I'm not going to lie, I'm a little tempted to do bikes just to have another option on the table. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. AdMech. Why doesn't AdMech have... Chat, why doesn't AdMech have any changes? Oh, because they didn't get any rule changes, did they? Hold on. Sororitas, Custodes, Eldari, Agents, Astro Military Armblade. Nope. What the hell, GW? This was one of the ones you needed to fix. This army does not work as it currently stands. Everything's too expensive in real money and too cheap on the table and doesn't do enough on the table. I'm looking at this as if I know what any of it actually correlates to. This should be a rainbow of green. This shouldn't even be a rainbow. This should look like a leprechaun just popped in chat and started painting shit, because this should just be green. Or no. It should be the other way. Everything should have gotten more expensive. It should just be red all over the place. And then we should have a brick of fucking text. Oh, not here. Not there. We should have a brick of text over here. That is just, 3 up ballistic skill, army wide now. 6 at feel no pain on Skitarii. Some things like that. I don't know much about the army. I kind of want to talk to someone who does, because I would like to know how people think about fixing it. But this is one of the armies that's basically not playable right now. Much less collectible. I was watching the Warhammer podcast the other day, and he's like, yeah, it's not hard to make an AdMech army right now that's more expensive in dollars than it is in points. And that's ridiculous. The Titans. I don't know why we care, but the Titans didn't change in points values. Look, at some point, am I going to make a Titan? Yes. Am I probably going to make an Orc Titan and an Imperium Titan? Yes. This is like summer projects at the earliest, y'all. This is like, I'm bored in the summer and want a project to, sop up my off season. At some point, I will look at this. I will probably have to do Warhound proxies, even though I do like literally the rest of the Titan models better than I like the Warhound. The Reaver has always been, I've always liked how lanky the Reaver is, and the Warbringer is just like chef's kiss, and you can't touch a Warlord Titan. But yeah, just okay, cool. Eldari, hey, some things got more expensive. Huzzah! Forge World, so no changes for Forge World. Agents of the Imperium, no changes, not surprising. Guard, I don't know why the Manticore got more expensive, but the Manticore got more expensive. Other than that, no changes. Hopefully that's good for the Guard. Templars. Oh, good. Good. Some Templars got more expensive, because I saw someone build a list that was like 200 Space Marines for 2,000 points. Which is 400 toughness 5, 3-up save wounds to eat through. This should not be how Space Marines can ever be played. So, kind of glad to see this. Hope this doesn't nerf them to oblivion, because Black Templars look cool, and a buddy of mine's very interested in starting to collect them. So, hope this keeps them usable, but maybe fixes that. Blood Angels, no changes. Chaos Demons, green! Grandfather Nurgle is happy. Ooh, Nurglings got more expensive. 40 points. 40 points for 3. That's the only thing I care about. It's like a 5-point increase, I think. I think they were 35 before. That's not bad. That's fine. If anything, that alone might complete the little 10th edition mini game of like, can you actually make a 2,000 point list? Because I think I was 5 points off. But again, let's get to the Chaos Knights and see how that changed. Oh, hey, look at this Chaos. Ooh, what? Oh, no. Oh, this is not the problem I was expecting to be having. Everything's cheaper. With a couple exceptions. The Huntsman, the Carnivore, the Stalker, and the Rampager all stayed the same, and the Brigand got more expensive. Okay, the Brigand getting more expensive is understandable. I haven't built one yet. There's one in that box right there. It is a heck of a gun, of like a mid-range gun turret. I played a test game with a buddy of mine over Christmas, and it just felt kind of wrong picking up so many dice for the chain cannon every time, but, you know, it is what it is. The Despoiler's down, the Desecrator's down, the Abominant's down, the Tyrant's down. The Tyrant's down 45 points. Oh. Ooh, that's spicy. I like that. Oh, the Forge World stuff got cheaper. So GW would make things cheaper. Just not for my Custodes. I see how it is. Ooh. The Tyrant being 45 points cheaper is huge. I don't remember the Despoiler's points cost prior to the data slate. But that again might be like... Wait, did any of my... No, because I'm running Carnivores and Huntsmen, so they stayed the same. So Brigands got more expensive by 20 points a pop. So I'm going to have some extra points in my Knights army to play with. That is not the problem I was expecting to be having. So I guess more Grot tanks? And this gives me options the next time I want to build a big knight, which is not soon, chat. They're sitting right there on my shelf and looking at me, and they know they're not getting painted anytime soon. I'm not building another Questor size knight anytime soon. The Rampager might have to be the next one though, just because like orky. But yeah, that's interesting. The Porphyrion went down in points. Let's go. 700 points. I think it was like 730 beforehand. Honestly, I'm gonna say this once now, and you can hold it. You can hold me to it later. I'm a little more interested to have a Porphyrion for my Custodes than I am for my Orc Knights. Because I think running nothing but like Custode is infantry with a Knight Porphyrion would be a lot of fun. Terrible against Horde armies, but I think it could be a lot of fun. This is gonna be fun. Again, I'll have to make a standalone video about my new my new go-to army lists, because this is gonna change some things. Looks like I need to get my hands on some more Grot tank models for sure. That is okay. I should check the rules commentary to see if Nurglings are still going to be able to do secondaries. Because then if they can't, I might need a third carnivore. That's this. CSM, some stuff got more expensive, and the core load of skulls got cheaper. Again, I don't know much about this besides I remember hearing a lot about Lords and Chosen, so it's good that those went up. And Forge Fiend as well, so. Ooh, an enhancement went up. Interesting. Dangles. Okay. Dangles. Deathwing Terminator Squad got cheaper. Wonderful. The Lion got cheaper. Wonderful. The Ravenwing Black Knights. 30 points a model. Nice. Ravenwing Command Squad. I don't know. Ravenwing Dark Shroud. Oh, Deathwing Knights didn't get cheaper? Oh, I hate that. They're now 45 points more expensive for 5, which is... Okay, they're 5 points more expensive per model. For Deathwing Knights. $5 points for -1 damage. 5 points for -1 damage isn't the worst thing in the world, if you frame it that way. Worse melee weapons, which is a shame. Again, power fists are kind of hard to beat for melee weapons right now. I don't know. I think 4 points extra, 3 points extra a model is a little more reasonable. For really just one -1 damage, especially with worse melee weapons. New version of Java available. Remind me later. Deathwing Command Squad. I don't know what that does. It got cheaper. Sweet. The Lion getting cheaper is fun. I think I've spoken before, but I'm a little interested in converting the current Lion model or finding some model and basically run, run him as the Lion, but build a Fabius Bile a while ago in the lore made a perfect clone of Fulgrim that led a rebellion of Biles, Newman, and things, because it's Fulgrim. I would love to build and paint a loyalist like Fulgrim clone model. And what I hope is that, because I know something happened to the Lion's defensive profile with the new book. Something with the Imperium shield got nerfed. So I hope this is enough of a points cut to make that okay. Because, geez, the Lion model is just so freaking cool. So good. Death Guard, Smelly Boys. Some things went up, some things went down. Cool. Did the PBC got more expensive. That's really... Oh, and Plague Marines got more expensive? That's weird. Destro got cheaper. Typhus got cheaper. Oh, yeah. I don't know much about Death Guard. They're fun to play against. Death Watch stayed the same. Drakari stayed the same. Drakari got cheaper. Buffs. We'll take it. GSC... Pure Strains got cheaper. Cool. Grey Knights. The Librarian got... The Brotherhood Librarian got more expensive. Cool. Don't know all that much. Imperial Knights. Wow, all the Knights getting buffed. Fun. I like it. Castellan. Ooh, the Tyrant's more expensive less expensive than the Castellan. I like that. Again, this is just like, okay, everything, things got cheaper. Awesome. Why is the Valiant 5 points more than the Castellan? Anyway, looking at this, all I'm seeing is like, yeah, Imperial Knights really needed extra Warglaive option, extra armature options, because it's just so much fun having them for Chaos Knights. Again, I would love a rule that, just because it'd be fluffy, and if I run a crusade with knights, I might talk about whoever my opponent is, talk to them about letting this be a thing we play with, of like on a 4-up, on a 5-up, when the knight dies, the pilot climbs out and becomes like basically a guardsman stat line, but like the pilot climbs out and then can, you know, exist on his own outside of his thing. And, you know, for me it'd be, you know, an orc climbs out. I just think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a fun rule to give the Imperial Knights. You know, and maybe give you a little less of a feels bad when, you know, a quarter of your army dies on turn 1 because the enemy rolled well and took 1 model down. When you run a Tyrant, when you run a Castellan. Votan, some things got more expensive. Cool. Necrons stayed the same? Okay, so something about the Necron AdMech combo must be getting some adjustments. Hopefully soon. Because there wasn't, over here with the rules, there were not. Necron changes. Nope, no, there were not. Okay, so here's my hope. I hope that in like a month, we will get a standalone patch for those 2 factions. Because if they're going to let them sit for another 3 months, another 6 months, whatever it is, until they touch rules again, not when they touch points again, when they touch rules again, that's going to be bad. But, yeah. Orcs! Orcs. Bunch of stuff got cheaper. The really good stuff, knobs, squigog boys, trucks, got more expensive. The knots got cheaper. So did the scrapjet. And the custom boosted blaster. Killer cans got you. I love killer cans. When, I mean, obviously I've got this guy sitting right in front of me because I love the way he looks. I love my orc mechs. So when I have, this will be army number 5. When I have like a normal orcs, you know it's gonna be Stompa heavy. It's gonna be Mechwa. Even though it's not, you know, knights. So, Killicans. Love them. Not a whole lot of things with points changes, but a couple here and there. Probably enough to just kind of shake up everyone's list a little bit. Give everyone a couple more options. Here for it. Forge World stuff for orcs didn't change. Cool. Space Marines. Here's what I've been looking for. New, just immediately off the bat, not a lot of changes. Aggressors got more expensive. That's definitely a good idea, especially if people running Gladius. Assault Intercessors getting cheap. 75 points for 5 models. 9 points a model. No. What's wrong with me? 75 points a model. 15 points a model. There we go. Why did I say 9? 15 points a model, not bad. For full-blooded, full ability Space Marine, it's kind of nice and cheap. My Ballistic Res didn't change. My Blade Guard stuff stayed the same, which is good. Again, Blade Guard is great right now. 30 points a model for Blade Guard, just awesome. Captains staying the same for the most part. Centurion Devastators went up in points. Okay, I don't care. I don't run Centurions. Chaplains, Companies of Heroes, Desolations all stayed the same. Good old classic box knot stayed the same. Yeah. Gladiator Lancer still stayed the same. Cool. All the gladiators are still the same. Heavy. Oh! That makes me happy. Heavy Intercessors getting a slight buff. Because I really like the look of them. I really like them as a option. It's just a slightly more sturdy, but still like utilitarian battle line guys. And they look really cool. Gravis armor looks so cool. They got cheaper. So that's already a couple more points in my Space Marines list, which is not very refined, but it exists. Inceptors got raising points. That's again probably good. They're kind of auto include. Incursors. I don't even know what incursors are. My God. Infernus squads went down. Ooh, again, 80 points. 80 points for 5. That's pretty good for Infernus Marines. I don't like Infernus Marines, but still good to see. For your Sallies. Intercessors also got cheaper. Awesome. So this is like battle line stuff, yeah? Getting buffed. It's probably a good thing for Space Marines. Outriders got cheaper too. But not the ATVs, just the motorbikes. It's not bad. 80 points for 3. So that's 23 points a pop. No. It's not 23 points a pop, it's like 26 points a pop. Not bad. Still not good. I think the issue with Outriders is just an issue of war gear and lack of options, but I don't know how you're going to fix that. Second page. Predators, Razorback. Redemptor Dreadnought got more expensive. That stinks. I mean, fine. It was very obviously the best Dreadnought, so yeah. But 210. How much is a Brutalis? I know I kind of skimmed past it. Brutalis is 175 and a Ballistus is 140. Wow, that's a big difference. I mean, it is the best one, but like still, that's interesting. Further down. Rhino's still dirt cheap. Girly Man getting a buff too. Girly Man getting cheaper. That's good. Scouts getting more expensive. That's good because they were way too auto include. My boys got cheaper. My Stern Guard got cheaper. 90 points for 5 models. Which is just what, 10 points 10 points a squad more expensive than intercessors, and they're basically intercessors that just punch a little bit harder. Perfect. Love it. That alone makes me feel better about my Space Marine list, because currently I have 2 squads of 5 Stern Guard in there just because I have 2 squads of 5 Stern Guard and I like them. And I was going back and forth on whether or not I should run them as intercessors. At this point, 90 points for 5, I'm going to run them as Stern Guard and just let them punch a little, and just let them be slightly punchier bolt gun guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Stormpeter, all this stuff the same, fine. Hey, Terminator Assault Squad, where are you? Where's your new kit? Please, I like G-dubs, it's right here. You just released the first of the new Dark Angels box. Like, what? Okay. Oh, they're gonna save it for the Blood Angels release, aren't they? Oh, they're gonna save it for the Blood Angels release. Still, where's the new scale of that? Terminator Squad stayed the same. Cool. War 1 got more expensive. Good, because that thing was just slightly too scary and auto include. So yeah, a little extra points tax for it. It's probably a good thing. I don't think I care about any of these attachments actually, because I I'm really just gonna play the Deathwing detachment. I like the flavor of it, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Space Wolves don't care. Tau. It's a slow Tuesday, and no one wants to watch more of this content. I get it. Tau. Nope. Thousand Suns, no changes. Interesting. So I know people really like Thousand Suns right now, but I couldn't tell you why. I've never played Thousand Suns. I'd love to play against Thousand Suns. That'd be fun. Love the aesthetic. Nids. Bunch of changes. Couldn't tell you much. There it is. World Eaters. Why did World Eaters get more expensive? Why did the Forge Fiend here get buffed? To be so cheap. Okay, 8-bound got more expensive, sure. Sure. Karn, sure. Where's the change to freaking Berserkers? That wouldn't do anything. Where even are the Corn Berserkers? Corn Berserkers. 100 points for 5. 20 points a model. To hit softer than tin ply toilet paper. That's the change I would have made. From the little I know about World Eaters. But so that's that. I think of all these changes, I'm excited for the Custodes. I'm kind of glad my Space Marines aren't going to change all that much because I don't really want to. Well, I don't want to buy more Space Marines right now. I don't play my Space Marines often. I want to play them again now that I've started painting them again, and I'm excited about them again. But I'm glad I'm not going to have to put too much brain power into, like, completely reworking my understanding of my Space Marines beyond just, you know, learning the new Deathwing detachment. I'm excited about the Custodes here. I think, again, I'm going to get a couple more models on the table, which is always a good thing for Custodes. That's kind of what I wanted with my current list. Like, if I could just get 2 more Terminators, I guess in this case 2 more, you know, 2 bikes on the table, something like just 1 more kind of nuisance squad, so I could really commit my, like, 3 main bricks to really hold the midfield. I'm happy with that. I'm really glad we got our Feel No Pain back. This right here, and critical wounds caused by attacks with devastating wounds ability. This is the one sentence I'm most excited about. And, like, okay, we all saw it coming, but it doesn't make me any less glad that it's actually there. Other than that, the Chaos Knights changes are gonna be fun. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting Chaos Knights to get cheaper, just like flat cheaper. I have to go, I guess when Battle Scribe finishes upgrading, I'll have to go in and look at just how many more points are in my list. My guess is gonna be like 80. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna have like 80 points left in my list. So probably not quite enough. Maybe not even that. With the Brigands going up. And this is where I'm gonna get into an interesting case of it's not gonna be enough to add, like, even if I get rid of the squad of Grot tanks, it's probably not going to be enough to add another Armiger, another Wadog, sorry, all the names, the Baby Knight, not add another Baby Knight. It's probably also not going to be enough to just run, it's probably going to be more than just running an enhancement on both Big Knights. Be interesting. let me know what you all think of the balance. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here. I'm glad the points changes weren't like wild across the board. I'm kind of mad that there's no change to AdMech in particular. Just checking again. Yeah, no rules changes to AdMech at all. Nope, no clue. So that's a bummer. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna cop out tonight and just leave it at a short stream because the thing I want to paint has primer drying. And don't think anyone's super active in chat right now, so I don't think it's worth even me just pulling out this box of bits and cleaning them up on stream. So I guess tonight just turned into an off-stream hobby night for me. I'm gonna clean up bits. Let's plan on Thursday. We either paint on that guy or build this guy or just do orky things. Not surprised no one was watching this stream. I was talking about this today. I want to talk about it today. Biggest news in the hobby right now. Yeah. Thank you anyone who's still watching. I doubt anyone's watching the VOD at this point, but thank you all so much. If you are still here, let me know in the comments because I'd love to know. But without any further ado, make sure you're liked and subscribed and hit the little notification bell on the channel. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll see you all next time.